on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance. These are the sort of basic assurances that every family should have, every step of the day, regardless of where they are in our country.
I mean, he's expressing something that I know you feel and most people feel, which is a combination of sadness, but raw rage. That's right. Forget about thoughts and prayers. These kids were literally praying when they were murdered through a church window.
The rest of this is just what's the name? It says,
this is light music on the side.
Authorities said at least 2 children are dead and more than dozens were injured. Obviously, we know that Wednesday after a shooter opened fire during a mass Catholic church. Other liberal figures also blasted prayer in the aftermath of shooting, including MSNBC Jen Bowski, who said prayer is not freaking enough. Prayers does not end school shootings. Prayers do not make parents feel safe sending their kids to school. Y'all disagree with that? I think that's something to agree with. Prayers isn't enough. Y'all got a problem with that?
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not going to stop everything.
No, I mean, that's the start of it. You start praying to figure out a solution. So that your mind can open up and clear the thoughts for some kind of solution to this problem. But everybody keeps saying, well, it's not going to work, and nobody's trying any damn thing. So then we just keep twiddling our thumbs year after year after year after year. It's crazy.
If we could spend $1 million a day on putting the National Guard over in D.C., we can figure out something for the schools. We could have some staff that are dedicated.
Well, first of all, a huge percentage of this country doesn't even think that school shootings are a problem, right? They don't even acknowledge it. They're like, well, this is, the cost of kids going to school. It's like, you don't really hear a peep from the Republicans. So that's why I'm like, so first step is that this is a problem, right? People need to accept it as a problem in order to move forward.
Stop. I'm trying to trade him. I don't know if it's...
It shouldn't take. It shouldn't take something like this happening to people to be alarmed. You know what I mean? Like, it's like people don't care, or people don't respond more forcefully until the shit impacts them directly. And it shouldn't take our elected officials, it shouldn't take our fellow citizens having this impact them on a personal level, whether it's their child or at their school if they are a teacher. It shouldn't get to that point in order for people to act, and not doing anything that cannot stand. Do something.
So let me ask you a quick question. Gemini, you brought up the National Guard and how much you're spending, right? So would y'all be opposed to the National Guard actually bordering the school systems?
I would, only because their primary function is not to shoot and terminate a threat when dealing with civilians. You need somebody that's dedicated to that. Like, this is my job. I see you, I recognize the threat, I terminate the threat, civilian or otherwise, it don't fucking matter. You need somebody that is their MO, that's their focus, right? Not somebody that's standing in doing a job that is not typically allocated to them.
All right, well, what would be equivalent to National Guard if it's not National Guard? What would be equivalent if they don't have the power?
Security company that's dedicated to the school system. flat out. Armed the same way, like I have armed security when I do certain things, right? So, I mean, come on, like we have armed companies. We just need to hire them. That's all.
And I mentioned, I don't know, it was an hour or so ago, or when Katrina and water and or mainly water, but they were spitballing some ideas. I just my opinion, again, just my opinion, is that the notion that there is one singular, solution, I think needs to be greatly diminished. Could it be a series or multiple things, whether it's stricter gun laws, whether it's holding our elected officials accountable, bulletproof glass for the windows at schools, the notion that, okay, this one thing will, solve all the ills of school shootings and mass casualty events. To me, that's what kind of grates on my nerves. Could it be a series of good ideas enacted?
Not to switch everything up, but just out of curiosity, did y'all speak about Russia attacking Ukraine overnight and unleashing over 600 air weapons? The second largest attack, and then ended up with I forget how many deaths. I think 27 and like 4 kids. Have y'all discussed that or no?
No, that happened last night.
Yep. They don't give a fuck. He came and shook Trump's hand. It then went crazy. Like, he don't give a fuck about
Well, Trump already kind of excused it, though, because Trump was like, well, they're going to fight until the peace is actually done. He literally said that.
He did. Trump made a comment about it. He's made a statement. He said he's very disappointed.
Man, come on.
Oh, wow. That's a way to get him, Trump. Get him, Putin.
Disappointed. Finger wag, So meeting with Russia, I'm just curious, like what did that accomplish if they just launched the second largest airstrike they ever launched on the Ukraine? How did that, what did we accomplish?
It distracted us from Epstein for a day or two.
That's the worst part about the attempted.
I want to say this real quick. We get right back to it because I still think that Ukraine is crazy. But there is a gentleman, there's this bitch ass dude on the app called Hollywood Prince, and I just he got outed on the stage I was on a while back, and now he's coming back around trying to be around. He was outed in the chat when I was on stage for. Somebody had put in the chat, they were like, I was monitoring this other stage, and they were like, y'all gonna really lit this pedo on the stage? I'm like, you can't be saying people are pedos without proof. Like, that's not cool. Like, if you got some proof, then we can go ahead and address that. And then I was like, who are you talking about? They're like, Hollywood. So he was next to me on stage. I'm like, hey, come off the mic, bro. They accusing you of that, and I need to hear your side. He's like, well, I didn't know she was. Okay. All right. Immediately, I'm already on his head. Come to find out, when the conversation was finished, before I booted him out the room, he had been charged with sex trafficking 2 minors on 2 different occasions, and he is a convicted pedophile. Not only is that, he's a convicted pimp and a convicted pedophile. So y'all see him around because he's back trying to come on the app. His name is Hollywood Prince. He knows how to present, like he's articulate, but he's a fucking pedo. But anyway, we can get back to Ukraine.
What's his ethnicity?
Unfortunately, black. And he out here in LA. Go for it.
Whose mic is open?
robbers.
Yo, oh, pardon me, I ain't know my speaker was off. But what up, man? I haven't seen you in a while. You good?
Yeah, everything good. You good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. That distraction tactic was so embarrassing. Not only did it not distract people, but Putin went and played him once again. It is absolutely embarrassing that a man who you rolled out the red carpet, had your military bow to him to lay that red carpet, have a jets fly overhead and all of that, and then this man goes back and continues. Increases his bombing, and on top of that, destroys an American company over there as well. What a freaking, excuse my language, ladies, what a pussy. Like this is ridiculous. And then we have to watch.
Who's the pussy?
Trump.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure.
So and then check this out. You and then on top of that, you gather your cabinet around you so that they can shower you with accolades and stroke your ego. This is literally sick. This is sick shit that we're looking at. And we need to call it. And I've already said it. I'm calling. I don't need any other kind of experts to say anything. We live under an authoritarian regime that is run by the MAGA Party. The MAGA Party is an offshoot to the Republican Party. They came into power and they run this country. End of story.
Yup, your debate is turning out to be quite
Man, his debate was on point. He did well. He could have did better, but his points were on point. Right? Like, there's no question
his
about
vision.
it. Yeah, for sure. He definitely is yearning to be an authoritarian. He wants to be a dictator, but he has to settle for being an authoritarian that can manipulate our justice system, our legal system, in whatever way, in our constitution, in whatever way he can. But there's no question about what his ambitions are. Like, he's very, very fucking clear about that shit. And on top of that, he doesn't have the respect of other world leaders. They don't fuck with him like that. They don't care about what they tell him. They will come over here, receive the red carpet treatment, go over there and do whatever the fuck they want. He is not respected. They know that he could be manipulated. They know that. I feel like Putin has to have some type of leverage when it comes to Trump. Like, it always seems like he's bending the knee. Like, he's always giving him the benefit of the doubt or granting him grace, where I don't see why the fuck would you. Like, he don't give a fuck. Every time that he says, I'm done, you know he about to smack the shit out of Ukraine again. He's like, okay, I got it. I understand. Don't sanction me. Okay, smack the fuck out of him. Fuck you think this is? Like, he don't care. So why are we acting like he does? Like, I'm confused. I don't get it.
Well, they believe the Russian propaganda that whatever Russia is saying, he believes it. I'm like, he doesn't believe what he's seeing. I'm sure he's getting footage of what's going on in Ukraine. He just doesn't believe it, or doesn't want to believe it, because it's not convenient for him. I mean, his whole thing was America first. So, it's like when something's not fitting into his narrative, he's gonna pretend it does fit into his narrative.
Well, he did say he's disappointed. No, don't you do that again, Russia. He said he's disappointed in 4 kids dying, 600. What does 600 air weapons look like overnight? Like, they went crazy.
I'm still looking for that story.
I saw it. Checking out what up, man. Drone warfare is big with the Ukraine-Russian war. That I'm learning more about. Project I'm working on, or I've been working on for past, I don't know what, 2 months now, I think. But shit's relatively speaking cheap and deadly at the same time. But the fact that Putin yeah, this orange, this orange comb over just. But as Robert says, as Robert and both of y'all said, I think how we've rolled out the red carpet and what did it accomplish. And I've consistently been putting in the chats when conversations were coming up is distraction and deflection. And just, Epstein, he's trying to run away from that. These other issues are legitimate, with the assault on the assault on our cities now, like with him trying to bring military to Chicago. I will not be surprised because of this unfortunate incident in Minneapolis. Could that be an opening for him to do that? All the while letting Putin just continue to ride roughshod over Ukraine. And what Jim and I think you said, like the other world leaders, they see his playbook. They'll come over here and like smile in his face, but I feel in a broader sense, my concern is all the positive equity that America has built up over the years with the international community is being squandered, and now we're in the negative. And once hopefully he's out of office, how long will it take? What will it take? How long will it take for us to get that credibility back with other world leaders?
Brian, when's he gonna be out of office? I don't think he's gonna out of office anytime soon.
Bruh,
to First Lady, and you made very valid points. To First Lady's question, she said she doesn't see the article, and I will put the link, but we know somebody doesn't click links. So, the title of the article is Russia launches second biggest air assault of Ukraine war, killing at least 21 and damaging EU building. The first paragraph says Kyiv, I think that's how you pronounce it, was bombarded overnight by Russia's second biggest aerial attack since its full-scale invasion of Ukraine, with at least 21 people killed, including 4 children, according to officials. Among those killed are children aged 2, 17, and 14. So that's a summarized version of it.
I wasn't talking about like that. I was talking about so I could play it.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was an article. I never seen him.
Yeah, no, that's why I was saying I was searching for it so I could find something to play.
Oh, you're looking for an audio snippet. Got you. My. You sound like an OG right now.
I'm talking about my uncle.
Put on your red dress.
My.
Somebody done blocked my uncle out of this space. Y'all some dirty people.
Y'all blocked, not the.
No,
I'm glad I wasn't here, so y'all know it wasn't me.
Oh yeah, I think I blocked him by mistake. Don't worry, guys, I'm only blocking him.
My block list is long, but he is not.
I don't block people. That's what's wrong with the world. I like to fight, so I don't block.
Well, I will say this. Y'all gotta be careful with your digital imprint. Because, when you have people in office that can go back and pull some stuff that you said previously before and talk about how great you are, and now you tell a different story, people, they will hold true to what you originally said. Just saying. So, y'all be careful what y'all say on these tapes. Any objections?
No, if I said a to your face, I don't care. I said that. I leave footprints in business. I don't give a fuck.
But to your point, First Lady, one of my, I guess one of many, but raised eyebrows or just concern from reading, Project 2025's Mandate for Leadership, the sections in there where government or entities that are usually neutral and have no real oversight from the executive branch. He wants to take over, and it was spelled out in there specifically. Could be concerning for any of us in here or on this app. The FCC, Federal Communications Commission, FTC, Federal Trade Commission, but the FCC, which controls or has oversight into our what digital apps like this, TV, radio stations, whatnot. They want that under the control of the president, and that's what one of the things that he's been vying for. So if you look at history and how Hitler came to power in Germany, it's some of the it may not be the same, but sure is rhyming, because it's a similar thing when you control the news media, when you control labor unions, when you can control countless other aspects of society, and then you start to, I don't know, have your former national security advisor house raided by the FBI because you don't like him. So, be careful of that overreach. And it's what
that supersedes a focus of the party in a way that other presidents haven't had before. So if people think of it that way, locals talk about him literally being like a savior, like brought by Jesus. So if you want to consider that too, I mean, Christians haven't talked about other presidents like that in the past. So there's a piece of it there that I see why people think that. I don't consider it a cult, but I see why people think that.
I don't see that, and I am evangelical, and I don't see that like at church. I don't know. Again, I get it's anecdotal. I see it more here on Clubhouse and maybe like on Twitter, like on social media. It's not necessarily what I observe like in my day-to-day real life when I talk to people. And I certainly understand why the term the MAGA cult rhetoric is used. I absolutely do understand it, because I do think there is this strange unwillingness to acknowledge any fault of Trump's whatsoever, and I just think that's very obtuse. But I don't know.
Good word. Sorry. I think you make a very good point, Serendipity, but I actually think that the MAGA cult sort of like idea was created by people who were like a periphery of Donald Trump, and basically tried to create this like cult-like image of themselves. I know that obviously Donald Trump has a bit of like a personality cult thing going on, but I think like we have examples of like what happened on the set, right? Like with Ali Alexander and like fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And these people tried to create like a cult, because they literally tried to create a cult on the set. Like that literally happened.
The thing of it is, to that extent, like I used that exact terminology, the Ali cult, because it was just weird. It was like some kind of weird mind control thing, the way that so many conservatives glommed onto him instantaneously. And like, it was definitely very, very strange.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was guilty of using that exact terminology, the Ali Alexander cult, like it just because. So that's why I say, like, I understand particularly political opponents referring to MAGA as a MAGA cult. Y'all know Monica's diehard MAGA. And Monica herself, I feel like, is one of those people that has a hard time being critical of President Trump. Even the things that are obviously wrong, she will make excuses for. Whereas I've never aligned as quote unquote MAGA. I do support Trump. I voted for Trump. Like, I make no bones about that. But I also, like, I don't like Trump as a person. I never liked Trump as a person. It was really hard for me to even get on the Trump train. I think initially it was kind of like, well, he's our conservative ticket, so like, you know, get on the train.
The exact same vote.
Yeah, and like even with the second election, man, during the primaries, I so bad wanted to like DeSantis. Like, I really wanted to get on that train, but he just did not impress that much.
Yeah.
Like, I kept wanting for him to impress me, and I kept thinking he'll get better. He just never really delivered, and honestly, I didn't like any of the other options that were running against Trump in the primary. So it kind of became a dead ringer that, you know, I knew Trump was going to grab it. And even when he grabbed it, I wasn't like, oh, yippee, this is the greatest thing in the world. I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion because I know a lot of people don't like him, but when he picked J.D. Vance as his nominee, that's when I was like, yes, cha-ching. J.D. Vance really speaks to me. I love J.D. Vance. And so I felt a lot better about my vote just because of bringing J.D. Vance in. And I know a lot of people don't like him, but I do.
That's really interesting because I actually, like, I think J.D. Vance is fucking sick. I think that he actually could be the person that, like, continues this, like, movement after Trump is out of office.
And I think he would do it better.
Yeah.
I think he would do it better and with a lot less division than Trump.
What do better look like, Sarah? Did you say better? I'm curious.
Trump is,
Isn't Ron DeSantis behind Project 2025?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't even want to go on. Like, Project 2025 is just like...
Hold on. I want to answer Hakima's question. Hakima, did you say something else?
No, I was just saying that's the Heritage Foundation behind Project 2025. No, but go ahead.
Oh. Yeah. Better. Okay, Trump is brash. He's unprofessional. Like, I think he needs to stay off fucking social media. I think he need not be on, you know, global news saying they don't know what the fuck they're doing. You know, I know a lot of people, they like that about his character. Those are not the things that I like about his character. I like that he's not a lifelong politician. That's one of the reasons why I also like J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance has only been in the Senate 2 years prior to taking on the VP ticket. And you know what else I like about J.D. Vance is the fact that J.D. Vance was once a never Trumper. And he came around to supporting Trump before he was chosen as the VP nominee, like a couple years before he was chosen as the VP nominee. But what that says to me is that he's willing to learn. J.D. Vance also had some really, really harsh opinions on abortion. And when he realized that
happened. So I don't understand how that tracks, because we haven't always had this epidemic of school shootings. So this is I mean, really, if you look at the charts, this all really went crazy in 2018. It jumped from 1970 to 2017. We were tracking between like 10 and, let's say at the highest, like 60 school shootings a year. That includes suicides, domestic disputes, drive-by shootings. That includes everything, okay? It's all lumped together. Then in 2018,